All right, everyone, welcome back. You know how much we love to go deep around here, and today we're going to be taking a look at something I think is super relevant to all of us.
Yeah,
This idea of comfort zones and pushing past what we think we're capable of.
absolutely. And that resonates so strongly with the theme of venturing into the unknown. It's almost like there are these two worlds, right?
That's totally. Like one world is the one we're comfy in, it's familiar, we know the rules, kind of like our own little bubble, but then there's this whole other world out there waiting to be explored.
Precisely. And that's where things get really fascinating because so often real growth, those big wins, that feeling of really accomplishing something meaningful, that usually happens outside of that bubble.
Okay, let's get into this idea of the world you know. It's interesting because I think in a lot of ways, we're kind of conditioned to stay there. Like the society has these expectations, our families have certain norms, and even our own habits, they all contribute to creating this bubble, right?
It's true. It's like we build these walls around ourselves made out of routines and expectations, and we tell ourselves that it's for safety and security.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like we need some level of comfort and predictability.
Of course, of course. It's all about finding that balance. But I think the real magic happens when we start to question those walls. Like, are they really protecting us, or are they actually holding us back from something bigger, something better?
It's like we're trading potential for a sense of security, right? And I'm not saying ditch all your routines and live in chaos, but like what if we started to see comfort as a starting point?
Exactly. Like a base camp. You set up your base camp in your comfort zone, but then you have to gear up and go out and explore the unknown terrain.
Okay, I'm liking this base camp analogy. But seriously though, it's kind of scary, right? To actually venture out into that unknown.
It can be intimidating, absolutely. There's risk involved, for sure. But think about those incredible explorers, the artists who broke boundaries, the entrepreneurs who revolutionized industries.
They all stepped outside their comfort zones. They had to, right?
Exactly. They had to embrace that uncertainty, that risk, to achieve something truly remarkable. It's almost like that's where the true victory lies.
Let's talk about victory for a second. What does that even mean in this context? I mean, is it just about like winning at something? Or is it something more than that?
I think it's much deeper than just winning. To me, victory is about exceeding your own expectations. It's about that moment when you push past your perceived limitations and you accomplish something you didn't think you were capable of.
It's like surprising yourself. That feeling of, wow, I actually did that.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be this huge monumental thing. It could be mastering a new skill, finally finishing that project you've been putting off, or even just having a difficult conversation that you've been avoiding.
It's those little victories that actually build up to the big ones, don't they? It's like each time you push past your comfort zone, you gain a little more confidence, a little more resilience.
Right. And you start to realize that your comfort zone is not fixed. It's expandable, it's fluid.
So this idea of leaving the known world,
Yeah.
it's really about challenging those internal narratives we tell ourselves, right? The ones that say, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough.
Absolutely. It's about rewriting those narratives. It's about saying, okay, I'm scared, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And that's where the real growth happens, right?
Yeah.
When we lean into that discomfort, when we face those fears head on.
Exactly. And sometimes that means failing, making mistakes, stumbling along the way. But that's all part of the process.
Yeah, like nobody just magically appears on the other side. There's got to be a journey.
Right. It's a journey, not a destination. And every step you take outside your comfort zone, even the missteps, they all contribute to your growth.
So if we're always striving to expand our comfort zones, does it ever really end? Like, is there ever a point where we've conquered the unknown?
That's a great question. I don't think it ever really ends. Because conquering one unknown just leads to another. And that's the beauty of it. It's a continuous cycle of growth, of self-discovery.
It's almost like the unknown is infinite, isn't it? Like there's always going to be something new to learn, something new to experience, some new challenge to overcome.
And that's what makes life exciting. I mean, imagine if we knew everything, if there were no more mysteries to unravel, no more boundaries to push.
It would be kind of boring, wouldn't it?
Totally. I think the unknown is what keeps us curious, what keeps us striving, what keeps us evolving as individuals.
It's what gives life that sense of adventure. And maybe that's the real victory, not just achieving specific goals, but embracing that journey of continuous growth and exploration.
Absolutely. And remember, it doesn't require some massive life-altering leap. It starts with those small steps, those little moments of courage where you choose to do something that stretches you a little bit, that pushes you just beyond your comfort zone.
So what's one small step you're going to take today? What's something you've been putting off because it feels a little scary or uncomfortable? Think about it, and then go do it, because that's where the real magic happens.
That's where you discover what you're truly capable of.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been awesome exploring these ideas with you. Until next time, keep pushing those boundaries, and remember, the world you don't know is waiting to be discovered.
And it's full of incredible possibilities.
See you.
Bye.